Listen, we're all human beings. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how perfect somebody seems to be. Nobody's perfect. I think striving for perfect discipline or, perfect consistency in all your actions is a good ideal to uphold. It's a good goal or target to strive towards. But at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. I'm not. All of the mentors or gurus or entrepreneurs or business owners or, whoever you want to compare yourself to, they're not either. I've met a lot of them. I've brushed shoulders with a lot of them, and I'm very much in tune through investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into myself over the years. And I can tell you for a fact that nobody's perfect. Nobody's consistent 100% of the time. The only difference is the people that are at the highest levels, the greats that we call, in any area of life or business or sports or whatever we look at, they're just better at getting up and doing it again, getting up and trying again, just keeping that, and not necessarily staying motivated. That's not what I mean. Just staying committed to their unreasonable goals or targets, right? For example, if it's waking up at 4 a.m. and you try to wake up and you can't make it. You try to wake up again, you can't make it. You try to wake up again, you can't make it. Most people will start to rationalize or justify their goals and targets. They'll start to say, well, it may be crazy, maybe evolutionary. We're not meant to wake up at 4 a.m. Maybe it's not even healthy for me. Maybe I should get more sleep. Maybe I should just try to do 6 a.m. Right? That's what most people do. But if you look at some of the greats in the sports world, in the entrepreneurship world, some of the people that I look to in the Army and Navy SEALs and some of these guys, you would see that they just stay with their unreasonable, quote unquote, goals or targets. They get up and try again. They try to make little adjustments, little tweaks until they can make it happen. So this is called the until mindset or until attitude, meaning you do something until it happens, until it comes to fruition for you. So that's just one little side tip that I wanted to give you when it comes to being perfect or getting things done all the time. Everybody procrastinates at one point or another. Everybody has these, ups and downs in their journey, and it's totally normal. But one thing that I tell all my clients, and I'll share with you as well, is the cure to procrastination, the solution to procrastination is, number one, having the right information. When you have the right information, it's hard to just sit there and do nothing with it, right? So I'll give you an easy example to internalize this. And it seems obvious, but this applies to everything else too. If I told you there's a fire in the building and it's coming here very rapidly, and if you don't get up and run, your whole apartment's burning down and you're going to die. Having that piece of information is going to propel you into action. You're going to get up and you're going to burst out of your apartment. You're going to run onto the street. So having the right piece of information oftentimes propels you into action. So that's a missing key for a lot of entrepreneurs, sales professionals, business owners, and a lot of day-to-day people that just want to stop procrastinating. They don't have the right information. So that's number one. Looking at the right sources, the right people, the right books, and getting dialed into the right information. And when I say that, I mean not opening the floodgates to everybody and everything, not opening your social media and scrolling through all these different pages and people and seeing what this person says and that person says and turning on your TV and seeing what's on the news. That's opening the floodgates. And that's the opposite of my personal philosophy. My first mentor taught me to stand guard at the door of my mind, meaning be very particular about what information I let into my mind. People can come and knock, but I'm not opening the door, right? I'm standing guard. So the right information from the right sources. That's number one. And then number two is accountability. So having accountability in place in order to pull you forward. And accountability could be, if you're working a job, it could be deadlines. It could be your boss or your manager. If you're a business owner, it could be goals and targets that you have for the month, for the quarter, for the year, to your employees, right? It could be different forms of accountability, but there's one form of accountability that's more powerful than any other form of accountability. And funny enough, I've actually been speaking on this more recently, but the most important form of accountability is personal accountability, right? Being able to hold yourself accountable and being able to get things done when you know you need to get things done, right? There are two types of actions. There are actions that feel good in the moment, right? When you're doing them, but don't feel good afterwards when you're done doing them. And there are actions that don't feel good in the moment when you're doing them, but feel good afterwards when you're done doing them. So we always have this choice at all points in our day-to-day, on a minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day basis. We're making these tiny little choices, these micro choices of which type of action, the ones that feel good in the moment or the ones that feel good afterwards, right? That's personal accountability. That's personal discipline. And just like any other muscle, it takes repetition, It takes time, it takes effort, it takes conscious work to build that muscle of personal accountability and self-discipline. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to commit to that and make that choice.